Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty wild, right? Like, have you ever wondered what you would do if someone offered you like a ton of money to just like disappear for a while?
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't, right? But this isn't just some thought experiment. We're looking at this crazy social experiment. It was detailed in these paste-to-text excerpts.
Right, it's like real people, real stakes.
Exactly. Like these two strangers, Hugo and Rain, they agreed to be completely isolated in this bunker for 100 days, all for a chance to win, get this, $500,000.
$500,000. That's like life-changing money, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, that kind of money could really set you up, right? But the question is, would it be worth it?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. 100 days. That's over 3 months. No phone, no internet, no contact with the outside world,
It's like being stranded on a desert island, but, with a roof over your head.
and maybe some Wi-Fi, but not in this case.
Nope, no Wi-Fi. This is hardcore isolation, just you, your thoughts, and whoever you're stuck with.
Speaking of being stuck with someone, Hugo and Rain, they didn't know each other before this whole thing, right? Like total strangers going into this intense situation.
Yeah, that's right. The researchers specifically chose two people with seemingly different personalities and backgrounds to see how they would interact and cope.
Okay, so let's paint a picture for our listeners,
Yeah.
right? What was this bunker actually like? Because when I hear bunker, I'm thinking like dark, dingy, maybe some canned goods and a cot.
Oh, no. This wasn't some doomsday prepper's hideout. This bunker was, tricked out.
Like tricked out.
Tricked out. They had separate living quarters, a fully stocked kitchen, a gym, even an indoor garden to grow their own food.
Wait, hold up. An indoor garden? Like they were supposed to be farmers on top of everything else.
Well, it wasn't like a full-blown farm, more like a hydroponics setup or something.
Okay, so maybe not Farmer Rain and Farmer Hugo.
Right, but still, it was designed to be self-sufficient. Like, they had everything they needed to survive physically. It was the mental and emotional challenges that were really going to be the test.
Right, because you could have the most amazing bunker in the world, but being locked up with someone you don't know for that long, it's got to mess with your head, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we're social creatures, right?
Yeah.
We need interaction, we need stimulation, we need that connection with the outside world.
So how did they deal with that? Like, did they just sit around and stare at the walls for 100 days?
Actually, that's what's so fascinating about this whole thing. They didn't just survive, they, in a way, thrived.
Okay, now you've got to explain that one.
Okay, so remember those daily challenges you mentioned?
Right, the researchers weren't just going to let them chill out for 3 months and collect a paycheck.
Exactly. The challenges were designed to push them, test their teamwork, their problem-solving skills, their adaptability.
Like what kind of challenges? Give us some examples.
Well, the pasted text mentions things like complex puzzles they had to solve together, resource management tasks, even like mini escape room scenarios set up within the bunker.
Wait, escape rooms? Inside the bunker that they were already trying to escape. That's just mean.
I mean, yeah, a little bit, but it's all in the name of science, right? And it seems like Hugo and Rain actually embraced the challenges.
So they were into being tested, even when they were already under so much pressure.
It seems like it. In a way, the challenges gave them a sense of purpose,
Yeah.
something to focus on besides the whole, being trapped underground thing.
And they had each other to rely on, right? Like they had to work together to get through it.
Absolutely. The challenges forced them to communicate, to compromise, to rely on each other's strengths.
Which, let's be honest, couldn't have been easy, especially in the beginning when they were still basically strangers.
Right. Imagine being thrown into this pressure cooker with someone you've never met before. You're both stressed, you're both out of your element, you're both vying for this huge prize.
Yeah, you'd think they'd be at each other's throats in like a week.
Yeah.
They made it work, right?
They did, and that's one of the biggest takeaways here, the power of teamwork.
Okay, but it wasn't all work and no play, right?
No.
I mean, they had to find ways to unwind, to stay sane in that environment.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's where the whole creativity thing comes in. Remember I said they thrived? Well, this is part of it.
Okay, wait on me.
So Hugo was apparently a bit of an artist, and he started drawing these comic strips about their daily life in the bunker.
Wait, comic strips like the funny pages in the newspaper.
Yeah, like that, but about their experiences, their challenges, their interactions. He even roped Rain into helping with the writing.
So they were making light of their situation, finding humor in it all. That's amazing.
It is. It's a testament to the human spirit, Even in the face of adversity, we can find ways to be creative, to find joy, to connect with each other.
And let's not forget, this whole thing was being filmed, right?
Right.
Like Big Brother style.
Oh yeah, the researchers were watching their every move 24/7. They even threw in some unexpected twists and turns, like, alarms going off in the middle of the night, changes to the challenges.
So they were constantly on edge, never knowing what to expect. Talk about pressure.
Right, it's like a real-life psychological thriller. And yet somehow they not only made it through the 100 days, they emerged victorious.
They walked out of that bunker, $500,000 richer, and I'm guessing with a whole new perspective on life.
I would imagine so.
So what can we, the viewers, learn from all this? Like, why should we care about two strangers living in a bunker?
Well, for one, it shows the incredible resilience of the human spirit, our ability to adapt, to overcome challenges, even when they seem insurmountable.
Okay, I can see that. What else?
It highlights the importance of human connection. Even in isolation, they found ways to connect, to support each other, to create something together.
Right, like those comic strips. It wasn't just about passing the time. It was about finding a shared purpose, something to laugh about together.
Exactly, and then there's the whole teamwork aspect. They couldn't have succeeded without learning to communicate effectively, to compromise, to leverage each other's strengths.
Which is a lesson that applies to, like, every aspect of life, right?
Yeah.
From relationships to work to, I don't know, surviving a zombie apocalypse.
Pretty much, and let's not forget the allure of that big, fat paycheck.
Yeah, $500,000. That's a powerful motivator.
It makes you think, what would you be willing to endure for that kind of reward?
Right. Like, would I trade 100 days of freedom for financial security? It's a tough question.
It really is, and this experiment forces us to confront that question, to examine our own values, our priorities, our limits.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I gotta ask, what's your biggest takeaway? Like, what's sticking with you after hearing all this?
That's a good question. I think for me, it's the reminder that even in the most challenging circumstances, we have the power to choose how we respond.
Okay, I like that. Choose how we respond. And for our listeners out there, I want you to think about this. If you were in Hugo and Rain's shoes, what personal strategies would you use to cope with the isolation, the pressure, the constant surveillance?
It's a thought-provoking question. We often think we know ourselves, but it's in these extreme situations that our true nature is really revealed.
So dive deep into your own psyche, folks, and until next time, keep exploring the fascinating complexities of human behavior.
And remember, you never know what you're capable of until you're truly tested.